Okay, we're back for 46 after the Christmas quiz, and some good scores coming from the Christmas quiz, Ola. Only the ones that I've heard about, because I haven't seen Caroline, so I haven't got Davy and Jean's scores, and Steve and Rita, I don't know where they've done the Christmas one yet, but I haven't got their scores, or Dawn and John's, or Billy's. Everybody's busy for Christmas, so they haven't put their scores in. Maybe they haven't done the Christmas one yet, but we're going to go on to 46, and I'm going to start off in round one. Which Belgian city is the centre of the diamond industry? Okay, so which Belgian city is the centre of the diamond industry? And number two, what's the largest land carnivore in Britain? What's the largest land carnivore in Britain? And number three, how many faces does a dodecahedron have? A dodecahedron, how many sides does it have? Number four, the 60s politician John Perfumo resigned after a scandal. What was he the Secretary of State for? Okay, John Perfumo resigned after the scandal. What was he Secretary of State for? Okay, number five, which one of Santa's reindeers comes first alphabetically? And number six, which branch of the armed forces does the senior service refer to? I'm going to give you a minute either side for the next question. How long does it take light from the sun to reach the earth? Okay, you're going to have a minute either side. And here's a tough one all around. What's the name of the elementary particle that has been called the God particle? Remember they made this big thing and it span round, and it was sort of, you'll find out the secrets of the universe and all that there, and they created this big machine that fired all these particles round at a certain speed. What's the name of the particle that we're trying to get? Okay, that's the end of round one. If you want to pause it and go back on some of them answers, I'm going to give you the questions. Okay, we're going to be looking in the mid-20s this week, the scores. If you can score in the mid-20s, let me know you're doing well. I'll give you a mention next one. Number one answers. Okay, here's the answers to round one. Which Belgian city is the centre of the diamond industry? It's Antwerp. What's the largest land carnivore in Britain? It's the badger. And how many faces does a dodecahedron have? It's 12. And the 60s politician John Perfumo resigned after a scandal. What was he the Secretary of State for? He was the Secretary of State for war. Never hear that now. I don't know whether it still exists. Never hear the Secretary of State for war. Which of Santa's reindeers come first alphabetically? Blitzen. And which branch of the armed forces does the senior service refer to? It's the Navy. And how long does it take light from the sun to reach the earth? 8 minutes. So you've got 7, 8 or 9. Give yourselves a point. 8 minutes. And what's the name of the elementary particle that has been called the God particle? It's the Higgs boson. Higgs boson. Okay, write them scores down. And we're going to go on to round 2, which is sport. Which sport returned to the Olympics in 2016 for the first time since 1904? Okay, so which sport returned to the Olympics in 2016 for the first time since 1904? Okay, number 2. Which annual race was held between the capitals of France and Senegal until safety concerns in 2008? Number 3. Heard this one on the Glen on Tuesday night. What do football clubs Glentoran, Cliftonville and Larne all got in common? Okay, so what do the football clubs Glentoran, Cliftonville and Larne all have in common? Number 4, still football. Which football manager said, "I may not be the best manager in the world, but I'm in the top 1." Okay, so which football manager said, "I may not be the best manager in the world, but I'm in the top one. Number 5. In which sport can you hang 10? Which sport can you hang 10? Number 6. How many runs are awarded if the ball hits the fielder's helmet that he's took off his head and put down on the pitch? And if the batsman hits it and the ball comes and hits his helmet, how many runs are awarded if the ball hits the fielder's helmet that's on the ground? Okay, number 7. Darts. 170 is the highest checkout in darts. What's the second highest checkout? And number 8. Which piece of sporting equipment is 3 inches in diameter and weighs 6 ounces? Okay. Which piece of sporting equipment is 3 inches in diameter and weighs 6 ounces? Okay, get them answers down. If you want to pause that and go back over some of them, I'm going to give you the answers right to round 2. Okay, question 1 answer. Which sport returned to the Olympics in 2016 for the first time since 1904? It was golf. And which annual race held annually between the capitals of France and Senegal until safety concerns in 2008? It was a Dakar Rally. It was a Paris Dakar Rally. And what do football clubs Glentoran, Cliftonville and Larne all got in common? They all play on artificial pitches. They all play on artificial grass, 4G or 5G. Okay, number 4. Which football manager said, I may not be the best manager in the world, but I'm in the top 1? It was Brian Clough. And which sport can you hang 10? It's surfing. It's when your toes all hang over the top of the board. How many runs have been awarded if the ball has hit a fielder's helmet that he has put down? You get 5 runs for it. And 170 is the highest checkout in darts. What's the second highest checkout? It's 167. Okay, so it's treble 20, treble 19 and bull instead of 2 treble 20s. Which piece of sporting equipment is 3 inches in diameter and weighs 6 ounces? It's an ice hockey puck. Okay, we're going to round 3. So we general knowledge one for round 3. What year was a pound coin introduced in the UK? Okay, what year was a pound coin introduced into the UK? I'm going to give you 1 year other side in that one too. Okay, which part of the human body has the most bones? Okay, would it be your neck, your head, your arm, your leg, your foot, your hand, your ribs, Okay, so put it down. Which part of the human body has the most bones? Number 3. Who succeeded Richard Whitley as the host of Countdown? Okay, number 4. It's a tough one. You probably all read the story sometime in your life, but you probably forget. What was Sleeping Beauty's first name? Okay, remember, I was, what do you call him? Prince Philip that kissed her and making her up. Prince Philip, but what was her name? And number 5, who founded the Boy Scouts? Who was the founder of the Boy Scout movement? Number 6, who's the only man to be Vice President and President of the USA without having been elected to either office? Okay, who's the only man to be Vice President and President of the USA without having been elected to either office? And number 7, which country was officially known as Zaire until 1997? So what do you call it now? It used to be called Zaire until 1997. What do you call it now? Number 8, Mount Denali is the highest mountain in the USA. What state is it in? Mount Denali. What's the state it's in? Okay, you want to go over some of them or rewind it and put them answers down, and I'll give you the answers to round 3. Oh, I didn't mention Gene and Davy. I didn't get Gene and Davy's score because I haven't seen Caroline. And Andre, I seen him work a day. He said he got about 19, 20. Jerry Smith, he got about 20. But a lot of the scores I haven't seen coming in this week. Everybody's too busy for Christmas. But if I see some good scores coming in, Billy Gray hasn't even put one in. He usually does his on a Sunday morning and he emails me in. But if I see them coming in, I'll put them in the next week to see who won the Christmas quiz. Okay, answers to round 3. What year was a pound coin introduced in the UK? 1 year other side. It was 1983. So you have 82, 83 or 84 gives yourselves a point. Which part of the human body has the most bones? It's the hands. Who succeeded Richard Whitley as host of Countdown? It was Des Lynam. And what was Sleeping Beauty's first name? Rosamund. Who founded the Boy Scouts? It was Robert Baden-Powell. Who's only one of the Vice President and President of the USA without having been elected to either office? It was Gerald Ford. And which country was originally known as Zaire until 1997? It's now called the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And Mount Denali is the highest mountain in the USA. What state is it in? That might have put you off Mount Denali because it used to be called Mount McKinley. But the locals called it Mount Denali, and Obama got it changed back there about, I don't know, 10 or 11 years, so many years ago, and they're what the locals called it. So it's now called Mount Denali. It's in Alaska. Right, get them scores down. I'm going to go on to round 4. Made this up myself, so I hope you don't say that's not a word, but it is. Well, people call it anyway. What word can go before duck, bag, and horseshoe? What word can go before duck, bag, and horseshoe? Okay, which actor from the boy, that series from years ago, The Boys from the Black Stuff? Which actor from the Boys of the Black from the Black Stuff was a professional wrestler? Okay. Founded in 1901, Indian is an American company known for producing some of the world's first what? Okay, Indian. It was founded in 1901. And it's an American company known for producing some of the world's first what? Number 4. In 1981, which Pole was voted Time Magazine Person of the Year? Okay, which Polish person in 1981 was voted the Time Magazine Person of the Year? Number 5. Which playing card has the nickname The Curse of Scotland? Which playing card has the nickname The Curse of Scotland? Don't know why, I always meant to look that up and see why. Number 6. Which Shakespeare's play is set in the Forest of Arden? Which Shakespeare play is set in the Forest of Arden? Here's a tough one around here. Here's a tough one. What does a mycologist study? M-Y. A mycologist study. And number 8. Which words follow the tagline for Psycho? Remember the film Psycho? Norman Bates. Which words follow the tagline for Psycho? Check in, unpack, relax. What's the next 3 words for Psycho? The tagline for Psycho. Check in, unpack, relax. What's the next words? Okay, I'm going to give you the answers to round 4. If you want to pause that and rewind it and go over some of them answers to the questions that you've missed. Here's the answers. What word can go before duck, bag, and horseshoe? Lucky. Lucky duck. Jackie Paul always says that in work. Lucky duck, lucky bag, and lucky horseshoe. Which actor from Boys from the Black Stuff was a professional wrestler? Pat Roach. Founded in 1901, Indian is an American company known for producing some of the world's first what? Motorcycles. In 1981, which poll was voted the Time Magazine Person of the Year? It was that trade union guy, Lech Valenza. And which playing card has a nickname, The Curse of Scotland? It's the Nine of Diamonds. And which Shakespeare play is set in the Forest of Arden? As You Like It. And what does a mycologist study? Mycologist? Mushrooms. That was a tough one around. And which words follow the tagline from Psycho? Check in, unpack, relax, take a shower. Remember when Vivian Lee was in the shower when she got stabbed? That was take a shower. Right, all them scores up. We're going to go on to the last round. Where are we at? 16 minutes coming up. We're a wee bit ahead, but I'm trying to make my dinner here before I head out. Who was the first female president of Ireland? Who was the first female president of Ireland? And number 2, what is the name of Joe Biden's vice president? What's the name of Joe Biden's vice president? Che Guevara appears in which musical? Well, loosely. There's some versions of the musical present she as Che Guevara and some don't. Okay, but what musical would Che appear in? Che Guevara. Some versions of the musical present Che as Che Guevara and some don't. So, but what musical is it? Who wrote the book The Da Vinci Code? Number 5, Harold Holt, H-O-L-T, who disappeared while swimming in the sea in 1967, was the Prime Minister of which country when it happened? Okay, Harold Holt, who disappeared while swimming in the sea in 1967, was the Prime Minister of which country when it happened? And number 6, the Swiss Family Robinson, remember the novel, the book? It came out in 1812. Was the inspiration for which 60s television series? Okay, the Swiss Family Robinson novel that came out in 1812 was the inspiration for which 60s television series? Number 7, what is the Ishihara test used to determine? The Ishihara test, what's it used to determine? The last one of the week, what's this, number 46? I think after we get 52, it'll be years. I think we'll take a break because to try and get some more questions stored up for you. So we don't have one every maybe month or something. Because I'm starting to run out. It's a couple of thousand questions, and I'm starting to run out of questions. Okay, number 8. Which group Which group released the album Voyage? It was their first studio album in almost 40 years. Right, get them down and I'm going to rewind them. Or you're going to rewind them and get any more, and I'm going to give you the answers right. Number 1. Who was the first female president of Ireland? It wasn't McAleese, it was Mary Robinson. And what's the name of that? Joe Biden's vice president? Kamala Harris. Che Guevara appears in which musical? Loosely. Some versions of the musical present Che as Che Guevara, some don't. It says Evita. Who wrote the Da Vinci Code? Dan Brown. Harold Holt, who disappeared while swimming in the sea in 1967, was the Prime Minister of which country when it happened? Australia. And the Swiss Family Robinson novel from 1812 was the inspiration for which 60s television series? Lost in Space. And what's the Ishihara test used to determine? Colour blindness. And which group released the album Voyage, their first studio album in almost 40 years? It was ABBA. Okay, get them scores down. And probably see you all soon. Let me know how you got on. And especially the Christmas quiz, let me know how you got on. And hope you had a good Christmas. And we'll do another one in the new year. Okay, have a good night and see you soon.